Likewise, it's good to see you too, Michelle. I know I haven't been here since that was November, right? Or was that October? Time's going by so fast. I don't even remember. I am getting over a cold, so if my voice sounds muffled or my voice starts to crack, that would be why. Yeah, it was. Hey, April, happy Thanksgiving, beautiful. That was October. Thank you, Michelle. Because I was like, I can't remember what month it was. Life has been moving so fast in a good way that I can't even keep up. Hey, Silverback. It's good to see you, friend. Happy Thanksgiving. How are you, soulmates? Thank you all for being here. Namaste. Thank you, soulmates. Thank you so much for coming to this Thanksgiving live. Before we go anywhere, again, I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for showing up today. You're not just here to watch me, you're here for yourselves. Showing up with your whole hearts, minds, body, and soul. So, whatever it is that you're feeling today, soulmates, whatever's stirring up inside of you. Because even with food, family, friends, sometimes the noise, the chaos, the emotions, everything that we've been dealing with, just the energy overall can be overwhelming. So I wanted to do this today because I know what it can feel like during the holiday season when you're battling things in silence that most people don't see. So I want to be able to hold space for people that are going through those battles because I didn't have the opportunity to do that. So I'm creating space and being the change that I wish I had. And if you woke up today feeling emotional, maybe you woke up feeling grateful, maybe you woke up feeling tired, or maybe you're just not sure how you feel. That's okay too. For some of us, I know we're probably grieving someone who's not at the table this year. Some of us woke up grateful for what God has restored. But again, wherever you are today, soulmates, know that you are not alone. That's why I created these spaces. Most importantly, we're human. So if your heart is speaking to you, just allow it to speak. And for anyone that is new to this space, I think you all probably know who I am, but if not, I am Keana Shatteen. I'm the author, creator, facilitator of Healing Out Loud. I'm an emotional intelligence practitioner, spiritual teacher, and survivor. And I'm a woman who has learned how to hold gratitude and grief in the same breath. My work speaks to the places where emotions and spirit meet, the places where truth can finally find language. And today, that's the room that we're stepping into together, soulmates. Oh, thank you. Thank you guys. That's just the God in me. I just tell people that spirit glowing. That's what you see when you see me. It's nothing but my energy. Thank you. And before we go any further, before we dive in, I do want to just again thank you all for being here, soulmates. Thank you to everyone who has supported Healing Out Loud, who has purchased the book or gifted the book or given feedback or just held space and allowed me to pour into you this year. Thank you so much. Your love keeps this work alive. It keeps me fueled and going, and it continues to support the mission. Because as I told you before, my purpose is to touch souls with my words, to inspire transformation inside and out. And every day I get out of bed, my goal is to try to touch at least one person. That's one person that I try to touch before silence or suicide gets to them. So if you are called to want to learn more about the book or learn more about me, feel free to um, go to my website. My link and everything is in my profiles. Yeah, I think I can share that on here. Got it. Okay. So back to our purpose of being here and happy holidays to you, soulmates. No matter where you are, if you celebrate the holiday, if you don't celebrate the holiday, just thank you for being here because you're here. Today is a new day. And I am grateful because the sun is out. The sun hasn't been coming out a lot lately in Illinois. And for me, it has been challenging because I thrive on the sunlight. So I'm grateful to see the sun today. I'm grateful to be alive today. And I'm grateful to be here with you all today, soulmate. You get it, Michelle. So, it's been less sunlight for us in the Midwest. So, today is a good day. Last Sunday, we had the sunlight. It was wonderful. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, today is not about pretending soulmates. Like, I want us to just truly be honest about what it is that we're feeling right now. I don't know what I just hit, but I'm going to move it. Okay. Because sometimes the holidays can bring up a lot of emotions. Hey, April. Yes, I am actually. What I'm doing is my son just turned 18 last week, so we're celebrating him all weekend. I've been so busy with things going on personally. I haven't had a chance to finally sit down and spend that time with my man child. So I'm excited about being able to spend the weekend with him. I won't be with him today because I'll be serving and supporting others, but this weekend is me and him. So I am grateful for that. And I'm just, again, wanting us to acknowledge what the holidays can bring because I know for me, probably around the time I was a teenager, the holiday season between November and January, I would just be like, let's fast forward, let's just get through the rest of this year so I can move on to the next year. Because the holidays would always bring about sad emotions. There have been holidays where I couldn't even leave the house. So that's why I wanted to hold space for us today. Because sometimes being able to tell the truth about where you are emotionally, spiritually, internally, just allows you to be able to just receive yourself, just be able to sit in it, not even judging yourself. Just get to choose whatever it is that you're feeling. And it doesn't have to make sense because right now we are definitely in an energetic shift. We have been in it all year, but we are still in Mercury retrograde. We are in Sag season, and Mars is in Sagittarius. So we have a lot of things coming up for us. We're also in the water trine. So if your intuition has turned up, maybe you've been having very vivid dreams or memories reoccurring, that's probably due to that energy. Maybe you feel your heart is opening up. You're probably responding to what your heart has probably been carrying for months, probably been carrying all year or for years. So I want us to talk about what it feels like when you feel gratitude and grief at the same time. Because we can honor both. You can feel both. You can feel several emotions at once. And I know the holidays can expose those patterns, the emotions that we've learned to silence. But what I've learned and what I teach and try to help people see is that spirit speaks through us through our emotions. And spirit is not trying to punish us whenever we have a negative emotion or an emotion that makes us uncomfortable. See, spirit uses those emotions to signal to us, to guide us back to ourselves. So before we dive any deeper, soulmates, let's go ahead and get grounded. I'm gonna drink some water because my throat is feeling scratchy. And I pray I don't have the sniffles, but I do have a postnasal drip. So I want to invite you, soulmates, to just ground wherever you are right now. I just want you to arrive in your bodies. And if you feel comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes. Place your hand over your heart because I love placing my hand on my heart, especially my heart pendants. Just relax your jaws, relax your shoulders, and just inhale and exhale whatever is coming up. And I want you to just ask yourself quietly, what emotions following me today? Don't judge it. Don't try to silence it. Just notice it. Because the moment you acknowledge what you're feeling, you give your spirit permission to release what hurts, reconnect what feels real, what feels authentic to you. Hmm. Let us just take one deep breath, big, big breath. Hold it. And exhale. Exhale deeply, loudly. Let the energy flow. Let it move you. Acknowledge it. Yes. Thank you, Silverback. I'm feeling a lot better. It was worse than this earlier this week. I've been traveling a lot. And as you know, every winter season, there's a new bug. There's something new floating in the air. I've been on planes and around a lot of people. So I am battling this and I'm not taking any over the counter medication. So it's me and my body fighting this off. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. So right now, how are you feeling today, soulmates? Because I know often than not, when you experience the holidays, when you gather with family and friends, sometimes you may not be aware, but certain patterns, certain things start to redevelop. They start to show up again. Because when you step into familiar places, familiar spaces, you tend to step into familiar roles. Maybe your childhood wounds are starting to show up. I know for me, especially during this retrograde, I've had a lot of things come back up from childhood that I'm finally able to see how far I've grown and where I kept making the same mistakes from that wounded inner child. Because oftentimes when we're around family, when we're around friends, especially family, we tend to feel the pressure of trying to please everybody, trying to make sure we're supporting and showing up for everyone else. But then that puts a lot of pressure on us. And that pressure can feel heavy because we're human too. How many of you play the peacemaker in your family? Or maybe you're the strong one, like I am. Or maybe you're the quiet one, the one that everybody just thinks you have it all together because you're quiet. Or are you the fixer? You clean up everybody's mess. Or what about the one who carries everybody else? I'll do it. I'll fix the plates. I'll cook the food. I'll clean up. But you're ignoring yourself. You know you're tired. You woke up this morning exhausted, but you showing up anyway. You're cooking. You're hosting. But are you really listening and checking in with yourself? Who did you feel yourself becoming today, soulmates? And I don't know if you all had the opportunity to gather with family yet. Some people eat dinner early. My family usually do things late when we did celebrate together. But who do you feel yourself becoming when you're gathering with the family around the holidays? And who do you know you finally are ready to outgrow? Like I said, I've had holidays where I didn't get out of bed. I can recall one Thanksgiving. I can't recall what triggered it. But I just couldn't get off the couch. No, I actually got out the bed. I couldn't get off the couch. And my husband and son actually gathered with the family. And I just told them, just leave me alone. And I just slept. Because, see, the holidays were hard for me. They were very depressing. So it became too heavy for me to gather around people that I just didn't feel emotionally connected to. Imagine being in a room full of people, but you still feel alone. Because that's how I would feel a lot of times. And I know it was because I was grieving the loss of my mom who died right before Thanksgiving. So every Thanksgiving, I would have this feeling because I kept outrunning it. I kept trying to run from the feeling. I kept trying to run from the grief that I was feeling. But again, you can't outrun yourself, soulmate. Excuse me. See, back then, I thought something was wrong with me. I just thought I was depressed. And this is just how every holiday season would look. Every holiday, I would be depressed. But I didn't understand what it was. See, I didn't understand that the emotions were really spiritual messages. Spirit was trying to get my attention to get me to see I still had some grieving to do, a lot of grieving to do. And it wasn't anything for me to be ashamed about. So don't feel ashamed of your emotions, soulmate, because they don't come to punish you, they come to reveal you. Hey, Jacqueline, how are you, beautiful? It's so good to see you. Happy Thanksgiving. Because when you think about grief, it's usually oftentimes our heart is remembering who we're missing, what we're missing, who we used to be sometimes, what we had to survive, and what we're still healing in real time because we are. So if you are feeling a lot today, soulmates, thank you for being here. And know that you're not weak. See, that's awareness. And what you're feeling is your truth trying to reveal itself to you. So be grateful that you are aware that somewhere emotionally you feel out of balance. Because usually when sadness arises, it's because that love still exists, even when the form has changed. So I know a lot of people that have gone through major relationship shifts. I've had a lot of clients that I've worked with over the last month that are experiencing divorces, separations, breakups. I went through one a couple of months ago. And it's human nature to still feel that emptiness of the person that you thought you were going to spend the rest of your life with, or somebody that you thought would always be there. Maybe you had plans for the holiday and it didn't work out the way that you expected it to. Doesn't make you weak. See, loneliness rises because spirit is craving connection. That's real, that's authentic, and that's honest. So when those memories start to rise up, because something in you is ready to understand them differently, maybe irritation is showing up. Usually, when that happens, that's spirit saying, you have some boundaries that need to be set, or maybe somebody's overstepping your boundaries. And when we're feeling joy, that's when healing is happening. Even if you don't feel finished, you feel joy, you feel peace for the fact that you've made it this far in your healing. And be proud of how far you've come and how far you'll go. See, grief rises because our heart is honoring what shaped you, what's shaping us. So I want to pause because, like I said earlier, hey, Nicola, it's good to see you, beautiful. I remember you mentioning that. Thank you for sharing, Nicola. So much love and light to you. And I understand you feeling the grief. There's nothing wrong with that. Allow yourself to feel the grief. And I don't want to go too off track, but I would just invite you to ask yourself if the energy of your ex, if that is still affecting your grieving and your healing process. Because if you're separated and you're moving on, and if, right, maybe we have to just block them so that you can focus on your peace of mind. Because Nicola is the most important person to themselves. So you have to look out for you first and foremost. I see. So now you have to create a restraining order. It's becoming way out of hand. That's unfortunate. So we just came off of Scorpio season. And if it was anything like it was for me, which I'm sure it was for you, soulmates, a lot of things came up, things that you probably tried to ignore. All type of emotions might have shown up. Maybe you had to close doors. Maybe you had to come up with some real truths about how you were truly feeling. Anything that we tried to bury during this year showed up. I know it showed up for me. And then I finally realized that I couldn't continue on because I know what I want 2026 to look like. So let me go ahead and allow these seasons to flow through me so I can embrace what's coming next. So what are you feeling? What feelings have, I guess, been the loudest for you today, soulmates? No, Nicola says it's been grief. That's good, Nicole. I'm happy to hear that. Michelle says, I've been telling people lately I have to take care of me first. I just get a look almost like they think I don't care. But I can't care if I'm not caring for me first. Absolutely, Michelle. And you know, it's hard for people to accept that when you've always been there, when you've always shown up for them. When you set a boundary, oh, it's hard for people to accept that. They will look at you like you're crazy because you've never done it before. And sometimes you have to evolve and you have to show people that this is who I am now. So you either accept it or not. But I'm not going to change me and I can't dim my light. Because, like you said, I can't pour or show up for anybody if I'm not well. So I'm proud of you for standing up. April says, my now ex partner walked out on me last year, the day before Thanksgiving. This has been a very challenging year moving on without him. Thank you, Michelle, for sharing. And I can imagine. And thank you all for being so safe and honest and vulnerable with how you're feeling. Because I know we're all going through a lot of grief right now, which is why I wanted to do this. Because I know collectively we're experiencing a lot of grief. MP says missing son no longer comes home. I'm sorry to hear that, MP. April says I went on my first solo trip abroad, my first cruise last week. That helped me with the last steps of moving forward. I'm proud of you, April. That does feel good because you're reclaiming your power back. I remember doing that too. Continue finding ways to pour into yourself, especially when you're having moments like this. Listen to what it is that spirit is showing you. And if there's anything coming up for you now, soulmates, even if you don't want to share, please know I'm here to support you. I hear you. I see you, soulmates. And most definitely, I am listening. I moved on. He needs to stop the games. Yeah. And we just pray for people that have not healed because eventually spirit will do what spirit has to do for them to wake up and see that they are in control of their own lives. Yes, 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 yes. I haven't traveled abroad solo, but I did take a solo trip. Not yet, April, but it's coming. See, we're in a very specific spiritual window right now. We're in a period, and I don't know about you, soulmates, but this has been a very emotional year for a reason. I told you all it was going to be like this because it's time for us to heal. It's time for us to release all the grief, the baggage, the trauma, the people, the experiences, the things that have been holding us back. 2025 has been revealing it louder than ever. And most recently, now that we have gone from Scorpio to Sag and we're in this water trine, maybe your emotions have been more louder or your intuition. I know my intuition has been 100% on point and I've been listening. Maybe it's been all of the things at once. Maybe your truth is coming out. Maybe everything is just is boiling up because keep in mind we are almost at the end of the year. Think about where you were in January and where we are today. Yes, yes. Oh, thank you, Nicola. Excuse me, soulmates. I'm so sorry. And also, just a reminder, soulmates, please feel free to donate if you feel called to do so. If this work moves you, and if you want to continue to support the mission, please do. Or you can reach out in my link in my bio if you want to continue to support the work. But, excuse me, what else is coming up for you, soulmates? What is it that is really speaking to your hearts and souls right now? And how is this holiday bringing those things up for you? Because I know some people who have mentioned spouses, children. I know people that have lost loved ones recently, and this is the first Thanksgiving without them. Like my brother in law, who transitioned on October 15th. This is the first Thanksgiving that my husband, my mother in law, the entire family, his wife, they're going to experience this Thanksgiving holiday without Uncle Phil. So it is definitely going to be an emotional holiday, but still filled with so much love. Plus, not to mention his birthday is next week. Yes, that is wonderful. That is so sweet, April. Hi, thank you. So now we're in Sagittarius season. It's a fire sign. This season now is bringing clarity. So anything that came up during Scorpio season, now we're in Sag season, gives you the opportunity to look at it more clearly, more honestly. It's time for us to see what fits our lives, what doesn't. What is it that your spirit is saying we can't pretend is working anymore? Everything is faster now. Everything is faster, especially now. Like I said, this Mercury retrograde, soulmates, I don't know about you all, but this has been one very in depth retrograde because it's also retrograde in Scorpio. So those old emotions that you were trying to suppress, maybe you didn't even realize you were suppressing them. Because on a deeper level, we don't even realize eternally the things subconsciously that we're still holding on to. Or how's your body feeling? Because physically, the body will tell you as well. Anything that we haven't allowed ourselves to feel is going to show itself. And now that we are in this Trine period, it's almost like boiling water, so to speak. You went from a water sign to a fire sign. So now it's helping us understand what it was that our emotions revealed to us because that's what water does. It's the emotions, it's the feeling. Now the fire is the action, it's the clarity. So what was revealed to you? What was sitting in your spirit? Sagittarius season is saying, now that you know the truth, where do we move from this? Open up your eyes and actually see what it is that came up because you don't have to be afraid of it. Everything that was ever surface level is closer now. How many of you have been experiencing very vivid dreams? The dream I had last night, and I knew I was gonna have a dream because my astrology said it was gonna be weird dreams. But the dreams I had last night were really unique. But I understand there's a deeply symbolic meaning behind them. And I know personally my empathy has heightened. How many of you have felt more empathetic lately? How many of you are feeling more of other people's energy? And maybe you don't even realize it. Michelle says, haven't had energy lately. And that's okay, Michelle. That's understandable. We've had a lot of shifts lately. I think a lot of people are starting to feel burned out and not having enough energy. I feel the same way. And I knew that the end of this year would be busy for me. So I've been trying to rest as often as possible. And I want you all to just think back to the first few quarters of this year. And I'll do it. Of course, we're going to do a recap and a preparation for 2026. But just think about the quarters over the year. I know for me, things were slow, up and down, but now it feels like the roller coaster ride is starting to pick up pretty quickly. Michelle, I was starting to feel tired a few minutes ago. After a couple of hours of cooking, I went outside for a walk for about 5 minutes with my dog. Yes, April, take some time for yourself. Fresh air definitely helps. Of course you do. You definitely have burnout, Nicola. So how do we fix that? How do we not continue to live with burnout? Yeah, mother in love, because I love them. Yeah, I don't like the term ex. The term ex just sounds so negative to me because I don't feel like he's an ex. I don't feel like his family, their exes. We have a son together, first of all. So me and my husband will always be family. We created a life. And so this is mother, because that's my son's grandmother. So we will always be family. So she'll always be my mother in love. But I love how you took control of that, April. You became very self aware about the fact that you're tired and you took that time for yourself. See, that's what the holidays will do. We will keep giving and doing, and we will ignore ourselves. And then the day after the holiday, we can't do anything. The entire weekend, we're resting, we're stressed. Then you go back to work next week and you're still feeling tired because we don't allow ourselves enough time. There's not even enough days, enough hours in a day to get enough rest as humans. So it takes multiple days. And when I'm not working, I try to rest as often as possible. That's your emotional truth. That's when you know that you're starting to become more conscious, more self aware, taking more accountability for your rest, your health, your well being. So when you are looking at that parts of yourself, when you're asking yourself these things, when you're going through the emotions, what emotion comes up for you? Why is this emotion showing up? Usually it's because you're healing or something there that needs to be addressed. Being honest about your emotions is how you take the first step towards reclaiming that power, reclaiming your energy, one step towards healing. Emotional honesty. I appreciate it so much just to hear that helps. And yes, absolutely, Michelle. And also, I know today is Thanksgiving, so we always want to be grateful. We always want to express gratitude. But I think oftentimes people get gratitude confused because gratitude is not about being in denial. See, when we say gratitude, people think, oh, I'm just so happy. I'm just so grateful. I'm just happy about it all. And yes, you are happy for what you have, but gratitude doesn't mean that everything is fine. See, gratitude is I see the pain, but I also see the purpose. I can still feel the grief of what shaped me, yet I can still be grateful for the time that I had the person or the memories or the opportunities because we're human. So, therefore, we get a chance to hold both emotions, all the emotions. So, what are you grateful for today, soulmates? I would love to hear it. Told you guys what I was grateful for. Grateful for you all. But I would love to know what are you grateful for, soulmates? Yes, Michelle, it is okay. Absolutely okay to not know what you feel. That's when you get to sit with the emotion and just allow it to come up. Oh, thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that. But it is okay. I think that's half of the problem with the human mind is that we think we're supposed to always know what it is I'm feeling. We have to have an answer. And sometimes you just have to sit in the feelings and allow yourself to unpack the feeling and do your self awareness, your heal work, as I call it. April says, I am grateful for my sweet dog that got me out of bed this morning. Yes, April. I remember my dog used to get me out of bed. Ah, I still dream about my dog. I think I dreamt about a dog last night, actually. I did. I did have a dream about a dog. Yes, grateful. I'm grateful to hear that. And I'm getting so much. I'm grateful that you're here. I'm grateful that you're showing up. I'm grateful to be alive. Grateful for my son. Grateful for my strength. Grateful for the strength and the wisdom. Because recently I would gifted the opportunity, because this is how spirit works, gifted the opportunity to be in a situation that allowed me to choose differently this time. That's growth. That's how I knew I had evolved. Because an old version of me would have made a choice that I always made in the past. And this time I didn't. Because that's what spirit tries to get us to see. Because when you've learned, when you've done the awareness work, when you've done the healing work, when you became your own medicine, and when you get faced with challenges again, situations that feel familiar, because it's easy to just get stuck in the same routine, the same situations, or it's easy to attract the same people because we are so accustomed to being one way. That's part of the evolution. That's a part of the spiritual transformation, inside and out. Hey, Michelle. It is so good to see you. I want to hear what else I'll be grateful for today, soulmate. Animals are wonderful. Love them to death. Because one thing about them, they don't judge you. They can't talk back. They're always there, especially dogs. So loyal. It was like no matter what Ali did, and even if I got upset, he would just come back all the time. Oh, thank you, Michelle. I appreciate you. What is it that your heart may still be grieving today, soulmates? I know some of you shared, but is there anyone else that want to share about something that they're grieving? because both speak here, gratitude and the grief at the same time because we can. I'm grateful for all of the new people that I've
From your
met,
calendar.
yet I do grieve some people that I had to walk away from because I realized they weren't growing with me in this chapter of my life. So it was time to let them go so that I could grow, so that they can grow. Yes, so she's grateful that I'm beautiful, loved, and blessed by the universe. Yes, I love it. Absolutely. Blessed by the best. I was cleaning and reflecting. It's a long thought, but to simplify, I'm grateful that my family has always been a steady force of love in my life. We are nowhere close to perfect, but we are loved. And that is the most powerful thing. If you have love at the foundation, Michelle, you have it all. Because as long as you have love, everything else will figure itself out because you keep love at the foundation. Then you know the rest is coming. That's it. Because I love you, we're going to figure this out. Because I love you, because I love us, we're going to get through this together. That is so beautiful. Yes. See, what I've learned is that, spirit doesn't speak to us using words. Universe doesn't use words. God is all that is, whatever you choose to believe in. They don't really use words. They use emotions. Spirit speaks to me through my emotions, through all of us, because that's why we're humans. This is what makes us unique. We get to have emotions. Like I said, our pets, they don't really have emotions. Like they can't express it. Yeah, the dog can growl, they can bark, the cat can get feisty, but they can't truly experience all of the emotions that humans get to feel. Why? Because spirit is using that to speak to us, speak through us. The heaviness, for example, most often than not, spirit trying to get you to figure out which direction to move into, trying to get you on the right path. If you're feeling irritated, most often than not, somebody probably overstepped the boundary, made you feel uncomfortable. Or if there's sadness, there's something there that needs your attention. A wound, perhaps, some grief, something that's hurting that needs your attention. Or if it's peace, then you know what? That is a reminder that spirit is still here. You're not alone. And that's something to be grateful for. I'm grateful that we get to have emotion. I'm grateful that spirit uses my emotion to get my attention. And I think that, well, I should say, I know that forever, we've never been taught how to respond and react when our emotions are trying to get us to pay attention. Because usually we lash out, we bury them, we suppress them, or we try to avoid them, never wanting to sit with them. And see, I'm saying this as someone who struggled with her emotions her entire life. And I didn't know that spirit was trying to get me to understand why, so I can grieve it, so I could feel it. I didn't understand that until I hit rock bottom and had to rebuild and then understood. So, what emotion has spirit been using soulmates to get your attention? Michelle says, I'm grateful for it. I was so low in life when I found Insight Timer, and to all the teachers here who spend their precious time sharing with us. Yes, it is a game changer. It is. But what emotion do you think spirit has been using to get your attention? I know for me, the emotion that shows up the most is the anger, because I don't often like to express anger. And I think spirit is trying to get me to see it's okay to be angry, but how you express it. So because I was so uncomfortable with anger, I held it in. And anger turned inward as depression. So we don't need to hold in any emotions, none of our emotions. So when spirit was showing me this, now I know how to deal with it in a healthy way. Now I set boundaries. Now I acknowledge when someone has upset me or has overstepped a boundary so then I don't have to be angry. Last Sunday, I had the opportunity to speak at a church in Gary, Indiana, and the topic for the service was, why are you so angry? And I was there to speak about emotional intelligence and the spiritual connection, but also to speak to the children that were there because there was a young lady who died by suicide that attended the church. She was part of the community at the age of 11. And a friend of mine, his aunt, asked me to come speak to them because I feel as adults, we failed that young lady. Anytime a child dies by suicide, we fail them because we haven't held space for them to feel safe enough to come to us when they're not okay. Because we don't even know how to be safe enough with our own emotions and to help ourselves when we're not okay. So, how can we be there for our children? So, allow yourself to feel the emotions. Yes, 11, Michelle, 11. Hey, Pamela, thank you for joining. Nope, you're right on time. You're never too late. That's key. We have to give the kiddos permission to be. We do, Michelle, but because we are so powerless to our own emotions that we don't even know how to teach it to them. So, what do they see? They see us suppressing, silencing, being angry, arguing, fighting, all of the things that spirit is not using our emotions for. Our emotions are not meant to be used in a negative way. That is not what spirit gave us emotions for. And that's what I was there to speak about because we, again, we have a responsibility, I believe. I have a son and I know I'll have a grandchild or maybe two. But regardless, we're creating a legacy. How much trauma would all of us have missed in our own journeys if some adult had held space for us? Absolutely, Michelle. And because they couldn't hold space, we didn't learn how. So let me learn how. I had to learn how. That's why I had to go through this. Because I had to stand there and let them know that if the adults in your life can't hold space for you, then let me give you the tools and let me be able to teach you and also hold space for you. Because hurt people, but heal people heal. And these children are very resilient. They're very powerful and very smart and self aware. So let me make sure that they have the tools that they need because they deserve it. So I had to realize that anger is an emotion for me that was challenging. Now I honor my anger. I don't suppress it, I don't try to ignore it, and I definitely don't project. That's one thing that I've never done. But oftentimes, and not when a person is angry, they project, they lash out. So let us be aware, let us be cognizant of our emotions. So if you're at the family function and if you have a dysfunctional family or a family member that oversteps your boundary, I want you to honor what you're feeling in that moment. Name what it is that you're feeling. And I don't mean you have to name it out loud. Name it to yourself because this is you doing your own healing work. Starts with self. Honor what it is that you're feeling and express what that emotion is, what that feeling was. And then figure out what you need to do to get back in alignment with this connection or this relationship, whether that means politely asking them to apologize or set a boundary, or maybe you want connection. Maybe it's somebody that you want to reach out to or somebody that you would like to invite in. And then, most importantly, lead with compassion. Allow yourself grace. Be honest about how you feel without harming or hurting anyone, but start with self because the way you speak to yourself is the way you're going to speak to someone else. But allow yourself grace and don't judge. Allow yourself to feel it. Even if you got to step outside, walk away, go to the kitchen, grab another drink, get another piece of pie, whatever the case may be. Just don't allow the emotion to overwhelm you because oftentimes and not, our emotions get in the way of our connections. And we say things and we do things that we don't mean in the heat of the emotion. So don't let the emotion become you. Because again, that's not what spirit gave us the emotions for. The emotion is not for you to scream and lash out at them. The emotion is for you to check in with yourself first. Soul says that's where I'm at. Told my mother I moved on to do what I needed for me. She hasn't even responded. Soul, it's hard for people to accept that. And believe it or not, a lot of us have abandonment wounds. And we may not even realize it, but a lot of us suffer with abandonment wounds. So your mom might be angry and feeling abandoned, and she's too embarrassed, ashamed, or afraid to express how she feels. Pamela says, how do you get rid of the anger? Pamela, you have to acknowledge what it is that you're feeling. Ask yourself, why am I angry? What is this anger doing for me right now? Would you rather stay in a low vibrational state of anger, or would you rather be up here living at peace? And I'm not saying you're going to get there right away, because again, you will have anger. So when the anger does arise, feel it, acknowledge it, express it. Why am I angry? What's making me feel angry? Is it an individual, a circumstance? Excuse me. And if I'm angry, what do I need to do to make sure that this doesn't happen again? Because I don't like anger. I don't like being angry. I don't think anybody, well, I know some people may. I think some people do thrive on negative energy. I think I was with somebody like that that liked to be angry. She said, no, I hate it. No, I hate it. Can't get out of the loop. Excuse me. Michelle says, I love anger because it feels more powerful than the sadness that is usually hiding from me. So I have to get curious and talk with it, talk to it. Name your emotions. I often tell my clients, name the emotion. So when it comes up again, you know that person. Because we've been inside our bodies all our lives, soulmates. So we know all the different sides of our emotion. So we can name the emotion. So when that person shows up, when that emotion shows up, acknowledge it. Say, okay, this is Sam, this is Sasha, this is Rochelle. So Rochelle is my anger, irritated version. That's my anger and irritated emotion. I call her Miss Rochelle because she can get a little sassy, use a little sarcasm, a little passive aggressiveness. So I call her Miss Rochelle because she's feisty. And I have to check in with her and say, okay, Miss Rochelle, what are we feeling right now? And why are we feeling this way? Well, part of me is still feeling triggered because, like I said, those childhood wounds show up, especially when you're around family, because you will be surprised at some of the things that will still resurface. You think it's been 30 years since your cousin or your friend or your mom or your dad hurt you and you moved on. And then you come around them around the holidays and something will trigger it and that memory will just flood back into your mind. I've seen it with my own family. I've seen it where aunts will bring up stuff from the past, from their childhood. That's why spirit gives us emotions, because there's something there that needs to be healed. This inner child inside of us is saying, I'm still not okay with this. Why? Because 2025 is asking you to resolve that. See yourself. And it doesn't make you bad. It doesn't make you weak. You're not childish. You're not petty. You're human. And most importantly, you're self aware enough to see that I still have some things inside of me that are still triggering me. But I am grateful that I can see myself. You have people walking around triggered and they don't even know why. They allow people to have power over them because they don't understand their own triggers. So anytime somebody says or does anything that oversteps that boundary, they only know anger because they don't know how, first of all, to set a boundary and also how to stand up for themselves and speak their truth. What? Yep. And I get it. So that and it will trigger that, especially around the holidays when you're feeling like you don't have the support, especially with grief. I get it. So and I remember feeling that way too on the holidays where I couldn't show up, the Thanksgiving when I didn't show up. Nobody called to check to ask was I okay. Nobody asked how I was doing. They just was grateful that my son showed up. I think my aunt told my husband, "Thank you for bringing him." I don't know if she asked about me. She never called to see how I was doing. And it is what it is. But sometimes you just have to realize that people will not support you. So you have to be your own support. That's what spirit is. Spirit is giving us everything we need because people can't show up for you if they don't have the capacity, if they have never shown up for themselves in that way. So we just have to love people for who they are, where they're at. Oh no, so don't be sorry. I'm not. I'm not because I survived suicide and everything since that time. And that was prior to my attempts because that's how long I had been trying to outrun my grief and my depression. So it happened for me, and I'm grateful, but I appreciate your support. You're welcome, beautiful. And Pam, if you want to reach out, like I said, I'm a emotional intelligence practitioner. I help us learn how to bridge that connection between our emotional intelligence and our spiritual connection to spirit, because they're all intertwined. They can't. If you think about it, April, how can somebody give you something that they don't even know how? They can't give it to them. That's just like you saying, I'm gonna give you $1,000. I don't have it. But how can I give it to you if I don't have it? So that's what it is. So we just allow ourselves compassion. Allow yourself compassion for whatever emotion that you're feeling. And even if you do lash out, even if you do overstep a boundary, there's nothing more powerful, nothing more stronger than somebody taking accountability and apologizing. It takes a big person to apologize and say, I'm wrong and I'm sorry. That's what love looks like. That's what healing looks like. Absolutely. Yep. And you just hold space for them, April, because now you realize you outgrew each other because your partner can hold space for you like that, but you have it, but he doesn't. So you weren't in alignment. You have to find somebody that's aligned with you that can match that energy that you have. Most important is to love yourself first, DJ. How can you love anybody else if you don't love yourself? Indeed. Indeed. And I'm looking at comments on YouTube. What other emotions are coming up, soulmates? And hello to all my other meditators. Who do I have in here? Hello, Solomon. Happy Thanksgiving, my friend. Hope all is well with you and your mom. Hi, Jason. What else do I have in here? Ocho, it's good to see you. Good to see you. What else is coming up for you, soulmates? What are you all doing today for the holiday? Like I was saying, I'm serving others. I am doing this live, and then later on, I'll be healing spirits because I'm bartending. Somebody is hosting a Thanksgiving dinner, and they want to host it in an event venue space. I don't blame them. They don't have to worry about hosting people at their home, and they don't have to worry about cleaning up. So I get the opportunity to share my energy with them on this Thanksgiving because that's what brings me joy. That gives me gratitude to be able to show up for people that need it during trying times. And can I say thank you to the soulmates that have reached out, that have expressed how much my words and how much my work has inspired them. I've had people reach out on Facebook, Instagram, of course, my clients. But that means a lot to me because sometimes you just don't know if the work is working or if it's resonating with people. But I'm grateful to hear that it is. Oh, thank you, Michelle. April says she's over there cooking. Was gonna drive 3 hours to my parents' house to eat with them, but I think I'm gonna stay home and do a video call. I don't blame you. I love that, April. You know what is so funny to me is I noticed I got a lot of questions and comments and texts and hey, are you cooking today? I realize that a lot of women get asked the question, are you cooking? So I'm gonna start asking these men, well, are you? Because I just realized that that's always the first question, are you cooking? And I'm not saying that we can, but I just think there was just this stereotype that yes, a woman has to cook. I just think that is so funny. Yes, April with the greens. I get it. I love some greens. And to be honest, my body can't even handle that food anymore. I think I can probably do greens and maybe some turkey, but the stuffing, the dressing, I don't do macaroni, the yam, everything is just too rich for me. I realize that the more I ascend, the more I evolve, the more my diet changes. Like I can't eat the same foods anymore. Yes, April. I think I'm slightly a vegetarian. I don't think I'm meant to be a vegetarian, but I just happen. My body craves veggie soups a lot. When I do have an appetite, that's what I crave, or I'll eat nuts. But I just can't eat the food like that anymore. And usually when I do cook, I would cook for my son because he would eat it all. I can't eat all of that food. Michelle said, I saw a young mama at the store yesterday. She had so many greens in her cart. Yes, I get it. So, whatever is coming up for you today, soulmates, I just want you to allow yourself space, allow yourself the opportunity to experience the emotion. So, if you're grieving, If you're happy, if you're celebrating, or if it's a combination, if you're irritated, if you're feeling anxiety. How many of you feel anxiety when you go around certain family members? How many of you feel like, oh, I got to go over my in-laws' house? Allow yourself to feel it, but be grounded in what you're feeling. Again, we don't allow anybody to have power over us in our emotions. Nobody can do anything to us that we don't allow them to do. Yes, April, that's smart. I would do that too. In fact, I've done that. Anxiety around my parents. I get it. And I could see that, April. I used to feel anxiety around my aunt when I was younger and even as an adult because my parents are deceased. But I would probably guess if my mom was here, I probably would to a certain extent. So I get it. I get it. And there's nothing wrong with that. And Soulmates, if you're not following me on Insight Timer, please do so. And also on my YouTube channel, I'm also streaming on YouTube. I'll be updating more content on there. You can follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I said YouTube. And of course, Insight Timer. I'm going to try to do more lives because we're approaching the end of the year. You know what, Michelle? My link tree may not even be active anymore. It's on my website though. I just created the link tree temporarily before my website was up. So you can actually get it right from my website. But I am going to try to schedule more lives. My schedule is starting to get a little busy now. I've been traveling, speaking, on the book tour, and I've been partnering with someone else. So if you want me to come out, Soulmates, please reach out. I would love to come in. I speak at churches, communities, women's groups, whatever the case may be. I speak to all audiences because we all have emotions. Yes, it is, DJ. It's actually I am Keana Shatteen on Instagram. Yep. And where else? On Facebook, it's just my name, Keana Shatteen. And on YouTube and TikTok is KS Empowerment. But you should be able to find the links in my Inside Timer profile. I believe I added it there. And again, Soulmates, if this work moves you and if you want to continue to support and you're in a giving mood, please feel free to donate, support the mission because, like I said, I'm really getting busy spreading the message, promoting the love and the healing, and especially bridging the two between spiritual and emotional connection because we know the mental health part, but we don't realize that they're all connected: mental, emotional, spiritual. They're all intertwined. And that's actually what I talk about in Healing Out Loud because I didn't realize that, again, 10 years ago when I was going through these things, I didn't know that that was spirit trying to get me to pay attention. I just thought I was depressed and a mess and I was never going to get better. See, so when I learned how to become my own medicine by interweaving all three of them and realizing that spirit was using my emotions to reveal to me that I was my own medicine, that's when I became powerful. That's when I became the healing alchemist because that's what I do. So I alchemize my pain into purpose. I heal anything negative, all the grief, all the heartbreak, all the pain, and turn it into something powerful, something purposeful. Turn my suicide story into a story that's going to save lives because it is. And there's nothing to be ashamed of. We have things that we go through in silence that we don't need to hide, especially not now. Nicola says, I've I feel I have a deep connection with a friend of mine, which is shocking. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's good to have a deep connection with someone. People are meant to have connection. That's why Spirit created an abundance of people. We're supposed to have connection. And now is not the time to be disconnected and alone. Yes, it's okay to be isolated if you choose to do so, but don't allow yourself to stay isolated. It's easy to stay like that. Somebody who enjoyed being isolated. Allow yourself to get out there and connect. The world needs you. We need your light. So why are you depriving us? Okay, Nicola, take it slow. Take it slow. Listen to your intuition. And remember, you're still healing. So allow yourself to just go with the flow. Take it day by day. And Just continue to what I always say, Spirit, reveal to me what eyes can't see. There's something that I need to see about this individual. Show it to me. Because we have to be intentional, soulmates, about the energy that we're connecting with now. DJ says, I'm in the middle of a divorce after 15 years. Not nice. I know. But I stay strong and positive. Love and light, DJ. And I know it's not easy. I've been there. And actually, a lot of my clients lately I've been working with, like I was saying earlier, they're experiencing divorces. They're going through breakups. And 15 years is a long time. So that means a lot of shifting, a lot of separating, a lot of changes. And it's going to require a lot of adjusting because you've been with somebody for 15 years of your life. And to start a new chapter without them can be scary, but you're going to get through it because it's a new beginning. Believe that. And you may not know what's on the other side, but I promise you, there is another side. After my ex, I've been out of any relationships. This one is very funny and knew my ex. I knew his ex wife. Oh, interesting. Wow. But you'll get through it one day, one step at a time. So thank you again, soulmates. I won't keep you. I'll let you guys go back to enjoying your holiday. I'll continue to get myself prepared for my evening. But thank you so much again, soulmates, for showing up. And if you are interested in my book, Healing Out Loud, it's on my website. I meant to grab it, but I don't have it with me because I've been selling out. Everywhere I go, I've been selling out. So I do have some in stock again. But I will be going to Columbus, Ohio next week and South Carolina. I forgot the name of the churches, but if anybody is in those areas and if you're interested, reach out so I can let you know if you would like to meet me in person. Oh, and I wasn't going to say anything yet, but I will also be dropping the audio book for Healing Out Loud by the end of December. So I'm excited about that. So stay tuned, soulmates. Make sure you guys are following me because I am traveling next week, but I do plan on doing a live. I want to do a 2025 recap and what to prepare for 2026, like I did last year. It was a 3-hour live. So I'm going to see how or when I'll be able to do that because I'm going to be traveling this New Year's Eve. Last year I did it on New Year's Eve. So if I do it, it'll probably be earlier in the week because I'll be speaking in Southern Illinois. So, oh, Michelle, you know I will. Excuse me. Let me drink some water. So sorry, soulmates. I feel like I sound gross, but I will definitely let you know. And if you want me to come down, you can always accelerate it and invite me down. If you have a church, soulmates, I do speak at churches. I'm not asking you all to pay me. It's just a part of the work, the mission. And if you have any groups or fellowships or whatever the case may be, and if you feel called to have me there, even if it's a Zoom call, then please do. Like I said, the information and what I'm teaching is to help us all understand our emotions are our gifts. Their spirit talking to us through us, not anything to fear or run from. Because as soon as we can get honest about our emotions, remember everything starts inward, outward. You start taking accountability for your emotions, your reactions, your responses. You take accountability for your entire life. Everything shifts. Because then you remember how powerful you are the way God is all that is created you to be. And you're abundant beings just the way you are. So let us celebrate that. Let us be grateful for that, soulmates. Can we stop? Yes, please, for the hearts. Let's be grateful for that. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome, beautiful. Yes. I'm international, DJ. I go everywhere because, as far as I'm concerned, healing is needed everywhere, and it is, especially in this world we're living in. Let us celebrate that. Oh, thank you. You're amazing, Michelle. I'm proud of you. Proud of you, soulmates, for showing up. I'm proud of you for opening up, being honest, and continue to be honest about how you feel. Most importantly, be honest about how you feel with the people that are closest to you. They're your family, right? So if they're hurting you or if they're doing something that makes you feel violated or they're making you feel small or belittling you, you have the right to speak your truth. and to set a boundary because you are worthy. You're welcome. Thank you, soulmate. And as always, feel free to reach out anytime you want. And if you want to donate, please feel free to do so. Please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel Soulmates. As you know, the more subscribers, the more, what is it? Exposure. You know, everything is a numbers game that we're living in this world. So the more subscribers, the more supporters I have, the more YouTube pushes my content out, apparently. So please do so if you haven't already. It doesn't cost anything to hit subscribe. Plus, I don't want you to miss out. If you came into the live late, you can always watch the replay on my YouTube channel. And as always, soulmates, take care of yourselves. Take care of yourself first and foremost. And allow yourself the opportunity to breathe as you go about your day, your evening, your afternoon, wherever you are right now. Be gentle with yourself and enjoy the rest of this day. Honor everything that your spirit has revealed to you. And remember that healing begins the moment you stop holding everything inside and start healing out loud, speaking it, saying, I'm not okay. Thank you, soulmates. I love you all. Enjoy your turkey day or non turkey day. If you don't celebrate, enjoy your Thursday. And thank you for being here with me. And I will see you soon. I love you. Bye, soulmate.